Megaman, an iconic series and an iconic character. I love that there are so many games and his design has always been the same, right down to the very first game. Who the heck is this guy? Hey everybody, and welcome back to the show that asks the toughest question about some of the most classic, beloved, and nostalgic games. Does it hold up? Megaman has had a lot of games in the past 35 years, each game building upon the last and becoming one of Capcom's greatest mascots.
Objection!
Yes, Phoenix, you're great as well, but we're talking about Megaman today. Besides, he made it into Smash Bros, so there's clearly a tier of better Capcom characters. Although Megaman has had some fantastic games, if we were to go back to the very first game and play it today, is it just as enjoyable as it was in 1987? Are there setbacks that make it not worth going back to? Does it hold up? For those of you who aren't as familiar with the Mega Man franchise, Megaman is a humanoid robot built by Dr. Light. In this game, Dr. Light's creations, the Robot Masters, have been taken over by the evil Dr. Wily and have been commanded to seize control of the city so that Dr. Wily can have his very own empire. Equipped with his Mega Buster, Mega Man is sent by Dr. Light to defeat the Masters, copy their powers, and put a stop to Dr. Wily's robot army. In the classic old school game style, this all takes place in the manual, and this is how the game starts. Yeah, you just dive straight in, but that was pretty standard at the time, so we'll overlook that. But we've got our story, we've got our purpose. Before we dive into the gameplay side of things, let's take a look at how the game came to be. Megaman was developed by Capcom, and before Megaman was released in 1987, Capcom mostly made arcade games, and their break into the home console market was ports of those games. This was Capcom's first title made specifically for the home console. It was intended to be a Japan-only release, but as we all know, it did come to the US and the rest of the world. Megaman was called Rockman in Japan, but when it moved over to the States, Capcom's senior vice president Joseph Morisi decided to change the name to Megaman because he didn't like Rockman. Guess we have him to thank for the name. Megaman was received very well by critics. Both the graphics and the gameplay were praised greatly, an undeniable classic, and won the best console game of the year in 1990. Despite this, Megaman sold poorly. I'm not 100% sure why, but when the US cover looked like this, I could see why it wouldn't appeal. But a lot of it may have come down to some of the negative reviews regarding its difficulty and gameplay. Capcom wanted a simple system that offered deep gameplay, and this game certainly is simple. You start on a screen with the 6 Robot Masters. You can select one and the stage begins. You can select whichever one you want in any order. This is where the deep gameplay comes in, with multiple ways to play the game. Is it easier to beat the game by doing the Bomb Man stage first? Yes, it really is. But why? Are some stages easier than others? What difference does it make? Well, arguably some stages are easier than others, but the main thing is the Robot Master Boss at the end. Once defeated, you copy their power, which can be used from now on. So depending on which stage you choose first will determine which powers you get first. This can make the game very easy or very hard. Capcom was inspired by rock, paper, scissors, with certain powers being effective on some of the Robot Masters and others having little to no effect. So choosing which stage to do first is crucial, because it could be the difference between a tough boss or a one-hit boss. There's obviously no explanation for this, you just have to figure out which powers might be best. What's this? A 7th Robot Master? Oh, it's Subman, the power of supporting this YouTube channel. This level is pretty easy, and you can play it right now. Just click that subscribe button. A lot of work goes into making these videos, so if you're enjoying them, I'd appreciate the support. And now we have Subman's power, let's grab some energy cells and keep making more videos. So from what we've looked at, Megaman is a pretty simple game system. In theory. While levels are short, they're not always easy. This could be down to the way the level was designed, and sometimes it's basic things that Capcom forgot to program in the game. Megaman apparently weighs 1,000 tons because any time you walk slightly off an edge, you plummet, often to your death. There's no time to think and maybe find a nearby platform to rescue you. In a second, you're dead. Considering the game's levels greatly consist of jumping from platform to platform, it makes for a tricky game, especially when platforms are icy and disappear constantly. It's just hard. Enemies are tricky too. I felt there were so many on screen that I couldn't stop them, and trying to jump across platforms without getting hit was just so hard. Too much going on. Another issue is no save files, so you'll need to do this in one sitting. Or just leave your NES on forever because you're not the one paying for the electricity, so what difference does it make? Overall, it was doable. If you could get the right power-ups in the correct order, defeating all 6 Robot Masters is definitely achievable, with most of your sanity intact. That is until the final stage. If you thought Mega Man was hard until now, and it was, the final stage is at another level. It's basically 4 stages rolled into one. It's hard, and when you lose all your lives, you go right back to the start of each section. There's instant death spikes and multiple bosses around every corner, so if you want to have a chance at completing this game, really try not to lose all your lives before getting to Dr. Wily. Not that this game will make that easy for you. More enemies are impossible to avoid, few places to heal and prepare before being thrown into multiple boss battles, and the most terrifying and infuriating platforming of all time. By the time you've figured out when to jump, how to cross this gap, and how to efficiently kill one of the bosses without losing too much health, you've lost all your lives. Started all over again and will have forgotten by the time you're back there. There's no part of this final stage I can defend. The Robot Master clones are far more annoying, and when you have to fight them one after the other with no healing, you basically just have to luck out. Yellow Demon is iconic, but oh my word, if there was a time to scream, it's now. No! And if by some dumb luck you make your way to Dr. Wily without losing all your lives from insane platforming, he's not too hard, but stress plays a big role here. You really don't want to start all over again, meaning each attack just stresses you way out and you don't think straight. It's a true victory if you can beat him. Yes! But Capcom really did everything in their power to make sure you never see this final boss. Like, what is this? Why is it even here? Long story short, Mega Man is not a perfect game, but it is also the first in the series. Capcom wasn't going to get everything right on the first try. Franchises rarely do, and without Mega Man 1, we wouldn't have all the other incredible Mega Man games we have now. But that's not to say that the first iteration can't be enjoyed. Sometimes there are enough quirks and charm that you can gloss over the minor issues that need tweaking. Unfortunately, Mega Man does not fall into this category. Mega Man was frustrating to play. Falling physics were ridiculous, you couldn't save so you had to complete the game in one sitting, and the difficulty curve at the final stage was so high it was beyond impossible to complete and literally drove me to insanity.
Oh, I'm losing my mind here.
The concept was good, controls were simple enough, and gaining new power-ups in whatever order you choose was a great way of creating multiple ways to play the game. Mega Man definitely had potential, but if you're looking to play an old school Mega Man, I'd suggest trying one of the later games in the series where most of the issues were fixed, making a far more entertaining game. So to answer the big question, does it hold up? It's a no.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
If you're looking to play Mega Man games, you can skip this one. Thanks for watching. I actually played this game on my channel, so if you want, you can watch me screaming constantly at this game. I also did a video like this for the first Sonic the Hedgehog game too, so give that a watch as well. Drop me a comment if there's a game you want me to cover. It could be your favourite, or a game you feel isn't as good as everyone says it is. Subman wants to make sure you're all subscribed, so be sure you do that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!